Yeah, so heart ring dishes. I do them once a year, and probably people have been waiting for them, and they're late, but here they are. Let's get started. The first thing we need is some clay, obviously. I'm going to be throwing these pieces off the hump, so I'm going to start with a cylinder of clay. So let's get over there. So when I'm throwing off the hump, I do not do a perfectly measured piece of clay. What I do is just wire off a chunk like this. That'll maybe make us 20 or so of these heart dishes. Now this bag of clay, you'll notice I'm not wedging it, but what I did do was drop this on the ground once on each of its sides to sort of wake it up and get it going. Once I've got my piece of clay here, I just go ahead and drop it down. The last piece I had was too hard, so this is going to be much more fun to work with. Okay. So I just kind of try to get down the high points so that it's easier to center on the wheel. These dishes are really quite simple to make. It's just kind of knowing the timing of when to do the steps so that you're not waiting till the clay is too dry to make the heart shape. All right, if you follow this channel, you've probably seen me throw off the hump a bunch. And yeah, I just center the very top part and let the rest kind of do its own thing. So I start with just a tiny bowl shape, and I'm trying to be kind of aware of this bottom edge of the shape because I'm not going to go back in and trim these. When you make the heart shape, it basically creates one side of your piece that's very asymmetrical, and so it becomes difficult to trim the bottom of it at that point. You can, it's just a little bit more challenging, and I would recommend at this stage taking just the extra few seconds to make sure the piece is what you want it to be. So I mark where I'm going to cut with a little rib. I use my wiggle wire to pull it off. Okay. Now you might be tempted to make your heart shape here, but I wait till it's on the board so that it's nice and stable and I don't have to move it again after I make the shape. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up here. Okay, so, ooh, banging things around here. So what I do is first is that, and then I do that, and that is it. And I will say, go a little bit more over exaggerated with this because as it dries, it'll kind of push out a little bit more. The bottom edge usually stays well though. All right, I'm gonna do that again, a little bit more close up so you can see what I'm doing. So just centering that top bit, making a small bowl, I'm supporting that outside. Now when you're centering clay, you kind of have one hand resting solid. That's what I do here. I'm resting one hand here so that I don't knock my column off center. So the shaping is actually happening from this hand, and then the other is just really to make sure that I don't knock it. Again, going back in, looking at that bottom edge, seeing where that is, marking it. Hopefully I didn't mark it too close. I get distracted when I'm multitasking here. Oh, looks good. Okay, so I pull that off. And for here, we're just gonna go like that and like that. So while the movement of making the heart shape is pretty simple, you're just squeezing at the tip and then just pooping down on the top. You really want to do that when the clay is very wet. If these start to get it all leather hard and you try to do that, you're just going to create a crack as it's trying to dry. It's something you want to do immediately after throwing the bowl. You can't throw a bunch of these and then put 10 over here and then go back in and squeeze and dip. You're going to want to do them one at a time because They dry quickly and they're small, and if you don't do that section of the heart before it starts to dry, then it'll crack on you later on. So definitely do it when the clay is very wet. Now here's one that I made earlier in the day, and you can see as it dried it softened that top curve a little bit. Now this is where we cut it off. When it's at this stage where it's kind of leather hard-ish, I sometimes will go around with my finger and just kind of soften the edge of where I cut that off so that I don't have to do as much sponging later. I always try to do as much as I can with the wet clay and minimize the amount I'm working with the very dry clay. So that's the bottom. Now it just needs to go in the bisque. Go ahead and wax the bottom of all of these. Now that the hearts are out of the bisque and they have been waxed on the bottoms, my next step is that I'm going to dip almost all of these in Studio White as a first base. You can just brush your glaze, but when you're brushing, watch out for this edge right here because it'll have a tendency to collect more glaze than you want, and you can get a little bit of a crawl spot here if it gets too heavy in the glaze. All right, so I'm going to take this one here. I've already been dipping some of these, so let's see if I can pull you over and down. So this is just a bucket of my Studio White glaze, and just a quick dip, and then back over here to where everything is. I like these colors to be sort of light and bright for the majority of these. So I'm going with that white base coat because it really makes the other glazes stand out, and then I don't have to do 3 full coats of each glaze to get the desired color, just one. Okay, so this right here I did last night, and you can see it's just got one brush coat of Sang de Boeuf over the Studio White. So when my glaze gets too much like sort of built up on the edges, what I'll do is kind of flex the container, knock that back into the glaze, and then add a little bit of water and mix it around until it's better. All right. So I'm just going with one brushed coat here. And again, this is rose quartz. I don't go all the way to the bottom because occasionally you'll get a little bit of movement from some of these glazes. Less so with rose quartz, but I just like things to be not on the shelf when possible. So that's all I'm going to do to that one. Now that you've seen most of that glaze process, I'm going to skip over the part where I apply all these glazes, and we're going to go right to the results so that you can see what those look like and get some ideas for Valentine's Day colors for your own work. The heart dishes are all out of the kiln, and I have some really great pink glaze combinations to share with you. So let's hop over to the photo table and we'll look closely at these results and see some of the different glazes I decided to use. This larger dish is sangria and shallot. This is Sang de Boeuf by Laguna. Little flaw right there, but I think that's my own application error. This was Bougainvillea over Studio White. Coyote's Amethyst over Night. Night is similar to Obsidian, if you're looking for the commercial version. Rose Quartz over Studio White. This is Mako Stroking Coat Speckled Grapple over Studio White with Dirty Snow. You could use Light Flux as a modifier there. Autumn Purple over Studio White. This is Red Crawls by Amico over My Night Glaze, but again, you can substitute in Obsidian there. 3 brushed coats of that. purple aster with dirty snow and a little bit of raspberry mist on the rim there. Just one coat of the purple aster. And this is my night glaze with 2 layers of floating blue and a little teeny red heart of red crawls. Not that it came out like a heart, but it had a teeny bit of red crawls in the center. Raspberry Mist over Studio White. This is Lunar Pink by Amico over Studio White. 2 brushed coats there. Fairy Rose by Coyote over Studio White. To get a similar sort of look, you can just brush 2 to 3 coats. My Studio White is really just a time saver. Spectrum's Kimchi over Studio White. And this is Spectrum's Fuzzy Peach. This is Nebula Blue with one dip of Nebula Blue, 1 brush coat of Moon River, and some brushed coat of, well, it was a partial brush coat of Fuzzy Peach. June Pink and Val's Turquoise, the mixed glaze. Magenta Sky ×2. And Variegated Dove with Raspberry Mist. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope those glaze combos were helpful to you, give you some more pink ideas, and I'd love it if you liked and subscribed, followed along for more glaze combos and project ideas. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.